Hey, boys and girls, we're back, and I wanted to talk to you about our new letter for this week. So, I'm going to give you some clues, and I want you to think about what letter we might be learning about. So, first, I'm going to read you some sentences, and I want you to think about what sound you hear in these sentences, and maybe you can figure out what letter we're learning. Ready? Here we go. Wet wigs wilt. What do you think of that one? Wet wigs wilt. You think you have it figured out? All right, let's try one more. We went walking with Wendy Wilson. Now do you have it? Do you think you know what it is? All right. If you're thinking that it is W, you are correct. So this is our new letter for this week, W. W says W. W says W. Okay. What do you think of that one? I'm sure you've heard it in some other places before, right? So we have a video on here of a story about a worm, worm, that you can listen to and enjoy and think about our W words and our sound for this week. I also know that you usually do a letter museum. So I want you to put your thinking cap on right now and think about what you could bring for letter museum that would begin with the w sound of W. Have any ideas? I'll let you think about it. I want you to think about what you could bring while I show you some things that I brought. Okay? One of them is something that you could use to talk to a friend. No, not a cell phone. Maybe a friend or brother or sister or somebody that you're playing with close by. You could play with something like, ooh, this one. What do you think? Hello, are you there? You know what this is? A walkie-talkie. Do you know that one? Yeah, right? Walkie-talkie. I'll turn that off. How about this thing? Sometimes you might wear it to tell time. I usually wear one. What do you think this is? You're right. A watch. Watch. I also found this old-fashioned type of watch too when I was thinking about W. Ever seen one of these before? This is my son's. It is from his Nana, and it is a pocket watch. And a long time ago, people kept these in their pockets, and that's how they told time. So this one's also a watch. Pretty neat, right? All right. What happens if you have some money and you want to take it to the store or something with you? Where would you keep that? Where would you keep that money? I know where I keep mine. I keep it in a wallet. Wallet. Now this is my son's and it's Lightning McQueen. It is not mine, but it still does the same job. You can keep your money inside a wallet. All right, I got a few more. I couldn't show you a real one, although I do have one on my window. But what do you think of this thing? A spider makes it. This guy is a web, right? That's another one that begins with our letter W here. What is on a car that makes it roll or makes it go, right? Do you know what I'm thinking? Can you guess? How about a wheel? A wheel, right? Wheel. You got it. All right. I was looking around my house. I was trying to find some things that began with W. I didn't have any watermelon. I couldn't find a worm. But I did find this little version of the world. Tiny little world. But you got that world. I also had some water that I was taking a drink of. And then my last one, my favorite one, is one of Snoopy's friends. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Snoopy, the little white dog with black ears, but he has a special friend. I love this little guy, and his name is Woodstock. Maybe you've seen him with Snoopy sometimes. He's a little bird that flies around. So, Woodstock. I got lots of things that began with our sound for W, just like I had my own letter museum here. So if you can think of something that you can find, maybe let your teacher know, and she can talk to you about what you found for letter museum. All right. So now that we know what W looks like, we know what W sounds like, how do we write W, right? Do you remember your So this house that we talk about when we do our letters, we have our attic up here, we have the house, and then the basement. So when we think about making the letter W, we look at this, and we start our W at the top of the house, and we come down, we go back up, come down, and go back up again. And there is our W. And you can practice doing your W. Start at the top of the house, down there, go back up, down again, and up one more time. What does W say, by the way? Oh, yeah, there you go. Whoa, you got it. So we'll start up here at the top of the house, come down, up, down, and up again. On our little computer sheet where this video is, and you can find the other videos that I make, there is a sheet that looks like this where you can practice your W's too. One thing that we talked about was that worm starts with W. So I made this little picture of a worm that's in the shape of a W. Mine's a little girl worm scooting along outside in the sunshine, and I attached a blank one where you can decorate your own worm and maybe show it to your teacher and show what you can do with your worm. So that's something fun that you can do. You can color and make it really beautiful. Okay, so I want to think about some words that begin with W. I showed you some items, some objects that begin with W, like we did our own little letter museum. But what do you think? What are some things that you know that start with W? Maybe your name starts with W. Maybe your name is Wyatt, or Willa, or Wayne, Wesley, right? So maybe your name starts with a W sound, right? How about some words that you can think of? I know I'm thinking of something that I like to eat in the summertime. It's kind of like a pinkish red color, kind of like a triangle shape. Do you think of it? Do you like it too? Watermelon. Do you like watermelon? Yeah, that starts with what? How about the weather? Right? Today it's looking like it's getting a little cloudy. It was a little sunny before. Yesterday we had some snow where I was. So weather starts with that w sound also. How about I'm thinking of something that can carry things. It rolls. Maybe you've ridden in one before. Maybe put some pumpkins in it. What do you think? A wagon? Yeah. Wagon. All right. How about walnuts? Do you like to eat walnuts? That starts with our sound also. All right. So we talked about some things that begin with W. I showed you how to write the letter W. We are going to practice doing some blending and things like that in my next video. But there's also a W poem that you can read with help at home. So that poem is called The W Cheer, and that is also attached to this document on the computer. So let me see if I can read it to you, and you can practice reading it on your own too, or with some help at home. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I found it. I hope maybe you have it too. So it's called the W Cheer. W is for worm and a wagon to pull. W is for wig, whale, wave, and wool. W is for watermelon, juicy and sweet. W is for walnuts, waffles, and wheat. Hooray for W, big and small, the wildest, wackiest letter of all. So one fun thing that you can do is take a look at that W cheer, if you see it on the computer, and maybe you can point to all the words that begin with W. Okay, that's something fun that you might want to do. And don't forget our story about the worm. Okay, watch my next videos and we'll practice reading some words with W and writing some words with W. I'll see you soon.